First off, I came here this morning to really it's as simple as this. Thank law enforcement. Every family in this state, every family in this community, they want to be safe. I want to thank the mayor for his committed effort to make sure Chief Dugan, the Tampa police, had all the resources they need, and he kept everybody informed. He was out there all the time making sure the community felt safe. I want to thank Chief Dugan and the entire police department in Tampa for their hard work to make sure this individual was caught. I want to thank Colonel Spalding with the Florida Highway Patrol for his efforts, making sure resources were provided to Tampa Police and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Commissioner Rick Swearingen. Everybody worked well together. These officers worked tirelessly. They worked around the clock. They didn't get their Thanksgiving, but they did it all because they care about keeping people safe. I can't imagine. I spoke to the officer that was at the McDonald's last night, and I said my heart would be racing. But thank God everybody showed up and helped her, and the individual was caught. For the families of Benjamin Mitchell, for Anthony Nabala, to Monica Hoffa and Ronald Felton, my heart goes out to you. But what you do know is because of the hard work of law enforcement, justice will be served. This state, we will prosecute people to the full extent of the law. You do not want to commit crime in our state. We're at a 46-year low in our crime rate. We're going to continue to work hard to keep every community in this state deserves to be safe, and we're going to keep doing it. So thanks again to the mayor, the police chief, and everybody in law enforcement that did everything they can to catch this suspect.
Governor, what's your message to
turn it over to the mayor.
You know, for 51 days, we've been at this. And I can tell you with a great deal of certainty, because I was out there, that we would not have solved this case had it not been for the help of the agencies that you see behind us, the FBI, the ATF. Everyone put their silos down. They didn't care what color their uniform was. They were focused on bringing justice for those four families. Governor Scott has constantly been in touch with me, asking what he can do to help. I appreciate that. The families appreciate that. We would not be here today having apprehended this individual had it not been for the team effort that's been taking place for the last 51 days. The men and women of law enforcement are tired. They've been at this 24 hours a day. They've sacrificed their families in order to help the families and the victims of this. I could not be more complimentary of them. This for them was personal. And it didn't matter if you wore the brown uniform of the troopers, the suits of FDLE, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the blue of Tampa Police Department. We were all absolutely united in making sure that this person was brought to justice. Today is a good day. Today, the good guys won. Today, Seminole Heights can sleep. Today, there are four families who will never repair the damage and never repair the fact that their heart was ripped from their chest, but they are starting to get closure now. Today, we begin the healing process. And today, the judicial process starts. And it will end. And I can promise you that when it does end, that this community will be a better place. Because I know where this guy's going to spend his eternity. Governor?
Chief Dugan, do you mind?
I would just like to thank Mayor Buckhorn and Governor Scott. The governor has called me personally on his cell phone, and Mayor Buckhorn has been at my side the entire process. I don't think people understand how much that means to the cops. They really don't. And I don't think the citizens truly grasp how fortunate they are to live in a city, in a county, in a state where their law enforcement agencies work so well and work so close together. It's very fortunate. We take it for granted. And I can tell you, after talking to various people, and the governor and the mayor will agree, that it doesn't happen everywhere. And we're very fortunate to have law enforcement that bonds together and goes and attacks a problem the way we have. And I can't say enough about the community of Seminole Heights and the way they have been so supportive of the cops. And our bond is stronger than ever.
Commissioner Swearingen with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
I just want to echo what's already been said. The reason we're at a 46-year low in our crime rate in this state is because whether at the local, the state, or the federal level, law enforcement, we put aside our jurisdictions, we put aside our egos, we put aside personalities, and we all work together. And I think the the other agencies standing here, and that's why we're as successful as we are, because we do work together. We put everything else aside and focus on the mission. So thank you.
Russell Baldwin, the Florida Department of Highway Safety.
On behalf of the troopers, I just want to say thank you to the local agencies here, the Tampa Police Department, the mayor, for their acceptance of bringing the troopers in. They were 100% supportive. We worked great together with FDLE. And I want to thank Governor Scott for being a leader in this incident and making sure that we were working together. And we couldn't have done it without great relationships that were built early on. Keep in mind, we didn't just come together 51 days ago like it was brand new. We've been working together. This is one of the greatest places in the state to work collaboratively with the police departments and the sheriff's offices here. And we just thank you for your hospitality while we were here, and we just are glad that this individual's been taken off the streets and we can sleep safer at nights. Thank you.
We can answer any questions anybody has.
Governor, what were your thoughts initially when you heard that there was an arrest made?
Oh gosh, I was so happy. You know, in this job, you're hoping everybody's safe. You think about first thing you think about is you always think about your family. You want your family to be safe. I've got grandkids, I've got daughters. I want every family in the state to be safe, and so I was so happy that this individual was caught. I mean, you sure wish that it hadn't happened to at least 4 families. You know, I was in Seminole Heights, so we could go with the mayor and the police chief and talk to some of the families, and clearly people around the community, and their hearts are broken. I mean, these people love their communities. It's a wonderful area, and I still, my heart goes out to these poor families. But I was so happy that this individual was caught and somebody else did not get hurt. That was the other thing. Whether it was an individual or whether it was law enforcement, nobody else got hurt.
Do we have an idea of total manpower that going into this?
Nah, we don't have those numbers right now, but we can get them.
What do you want to say to the McDonald's employee who really, I mean, if it weren't for her, who the heck knows where this guy could be? You know,
I think everybody in law enforcement would tell you, if you see something, you've got to say something. You know, we have got to figure out how we all work together. First thing, everybody needs to go thank law enforcement. I mean, they're putting their lives on the line every day. They put the uniform on. They don't know everybody. They're going to go out there. They're going to do everything they can to keep us safe. When you see something, go call. Make sure your community is safe. But we have the best law enforcement in the world in this state. Tampa's got the best law enforcement. But thank God for the individual, the lady at McDonald's that was willing to do this, and the officer there. Gosh, my heart would be racing if that was happening to me. I know it would be.
Governor, I know you just sort of were talking with the officer and you guys embraced with a nice hug the arresting officer, but can you tell us, we weren't able to hear exactly what happened there, but she sort of described what happened at that restaurant while they placed that individual under arrest.
Yeah, she was, you know, the employee approached her with the bag, and the officer looked into it, and that's when the officer was able to contact the rest of us. And that is, you know, what we've said all along is we needed that little bit of information, and we've had other guns, but we knew this was the one. That's why I was saying yesterday we were so optimistic from the beginning, because things were starting to fall into place quickly for us. As far as narrowing down, is this our guy? And now the work begins to shore up the case and get a full prosecution.
Is this the best possible ending to an absolutely terrible situation?
You know, I think a peaceful ending is a good thing. Yeah, I was worried of just how many people were going to have to die before we were able to bring an end to this.
Yeah, this is what you're worried about. Is you don't want another family impacted by this. Right. I mean, all of us have been around the way you think about what happened with Pulse, and you go talk to those families, and I mean, your just heart goes out that somebody just was leading a normal life, and then somebody commits a heinous crime, and that family's life has changed forever. So I am very thankful that law enforcement was able to do this.
How close have you been with Mayor Buckhorn and the chief throughout this whole process? I know you were in South Florida yesterday. You came up here. It's great that you're here this morning. But how close have you guys been in touch?
The governor's been in touch with me since this started. We talk on a fairly regular basis anyway.
Right.
But he would call me and say, "What is it that you need? How is it that I can help? What resources of the state can we deploy?" When it got to a critical point, that's when he said, obviously FDLE has been with us from day one. He sent in the troopers. I can tell you, because I was out there, the troopers took a lot of the burden off of our guys. I mean, they had been working for 50 plus days straight. The troopers came in, supplemented our efforts inside the box. You couldn't go 100 yards without seeing a trooper out there backing us up, patrolling, doing what we needed them to do. They were excited to be there. They didn't ask for anything in return. They just did their job. So yeah, from the get-go, the state has been absolutely with us.
But you have to put, the mayor has always, we got elected about the same time. I think the mayor was right after I got elected. Since we got elected, our job has been to help I represent the state, he represents this community, and say, what can we do to make these places better? And the mayor's been great, but the other thing you have to admire is law enforcement's ability to work together.
Yeah.
Whatever the issue around the state, I mean, we just had an issue in Gainesville a few weeks ago, and people all over the state showed up, and that's what happens in this state. People work well together.
Governor, can you just kind of give me your thoughts? To know this man who was arrested, 24 years young, he went to St. John's University, no criminal history whatsoever, graduated from Alonzo High School, seemed to have a clean record overall, good father. When you hear all that and hear what he's charged with, your thoughts?
You know, you just don't get it. I said this morning. Before, I'm a business guy. I've been in business all my life. I was never involved in law enforcement. And doing this job, and you see the crimes that people commit, and you think, why in the world would somebody do that to another human being? Would you just senselessly take somebody's life? Why would you senselessly change the whole family or even a whole community's future? Why? I just never have understood why anybody would do that. I mean, we all love our families. I mean, I have 6 grandsons. I can't imagine something happened to one of them. So why somebody would have it in their mind to go take 4 individuals' lives? I don't get it, and I don't know we'll ever understand. But it's the first thing you always say. Why is somebody doing this?
Can we expect any more arrests, or is this the one?
This will be the only charge. You know, whether there's someone else involved as far as giving him assistance, we don't know. But this is the only arrest. He did it. That's the way it goes.
All right. Thanks.
Governor, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Chief, thank you very much.